Is Anthem worth playing in 2025? Well, BioWare's looter shooter Anthem in 2025 will be your last chance to play before it shuts down forever. On January 12th, 2026, the world of Anthem is going dark for good. The servers that power this beautiful, chaotic, and tragic world are being switched off, and when they go, the entire universe will just cease to exist. It's a definitive end, a digital apocalypse for a game that was supposed to be BioWare's next great legacy. But before that happens, we have one last chance to experience the game that promised so much. This is the tragic story of Anthem, a game of incredible highs and devastating lows, and this is why you should play it one last time before it's gone forever. Before we get to the end, we have to talk about the beginning. We have to talk about the one thing that even the harshest critics and most let down fans could never deny: the feeling of flight. There's never been anything quite like firing up your javelin's thrusters, leaping off the walls of Fort Tarsus, and blasting into the sky. It is without a doubt one of the most sublime and perfectly tuned mechanics in modern gaming. BioWare captured the fantasy of being Iron Man with a precision that was and still is completely unmatched. The heavy thud of a Colossus hitting the ground, the blinding speed of the Interceptor dodging through canyons, the elegant hover of the storm raining down elemental chaos. It was a power fantasy made real. And the world itself, absolutely spectacular. Bastion was a visual masterpiece, a lush vertical jungle filled with alien, megafauna, impossibly huge relics from a forgotten age, and views that would make you stop mid-flight just to stare. It was a world that felt ancient, dangerous, and alive. It promised adventure. It was a canvas of pure potential. In those first few hours, Anthem wasn't just a game, it was a promise. A promise of a new kind of adventure from a legendary studio, of endless exploration with friends, and a story that would grow over years. It was a beautiful promise, but it was one that would be broken. The cracks in Anthem's armor started to show almost immediately. For all its beauty and amazing flight, the game itself felt hollow. When it launched in February 2019, it was held back by a weak story, repetitive missions, and a loot system that felt more punishing than rewarding. For a studio famous for deep story-driven RPGs like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, Anthem's plot felt like an afterthought, a thin blanket thrown over a frustrating and shallow grind. Before long, reports came out that pulled back the curtain on a chaotic development cycle. A project that had technically been in the works since 2012 had apparently been scrambled together in the last 18 months, resulting in a rushed and unfinished game. That BioWare magic fans always talked about, the final polish that made their games legendary, just couldn't fix the deep problems at Anthem's core. The player base who showed up with so much hope started to fade away. The endgame, the very thing that was supposed to keep people playing for years, was barely there. The world was stunning, but there was nothing meaningful to do in it. BioWare didn't give up though, not right away. They announced a massive overhaul, a complete reboot of the game, codenamed Anthem 2.0, and for a little while, there was hope. The community held its breath, waiting for the redemption story, for the No Man's Sky or Final Fantasy moment where Anthem would rise from the ashes and become the game it was always meant to be. That moment never came. In February 2021, EA and BioWare announced that Anthem 2.0 was canceled. Resources were being moved to the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect. With that, the final nail was hammered into Anthem's coffin. The game was put on life support with no new content coming, and its future was a giant question mark. Now we know they're pulling the plug. It's a sad story, and one a lot of us watched unfold. The massive hype, those moments of pure awe, and then that slow creeping disappointment. So what's your standout memory of Anthem? Was it the first time you took flight, a thrilling stronghold run with your friends? Or was the moment you realized the game wasn't just going to make it? Share your own Anthem story in the comments. It feels right to treat this as a place to remember the good and the bad together. So what's it like playing Anthem in 2025 knowing the shutdown is coming? It's a strange, almost surreal feeling. Logging in is like visiting a ghost town, but a breathtakingly beautiful one. The servers are still running for now, and a small dedicated community of freelancers is still flying through the skies of Bastion. Finding a full squad might take a minute, it, but they are out there. Vets keeping the flame alive and new players trying to see it all before it's too late. In a way, playing Anthem now is a purer experience. It's free from the weight of expectation and disappointment of what could have been. You can just appreciate the game for what it is, a flawed gem with a spectacular core. The flight is still incredible, the combat is still a satisfying chaos of explosions and firepower, the world is still stunning. But the clock is ticking, and you can see the signs of the end. You can't buy any of the in-game premium currency anymore, and maybe the biggest deadline is August 15th, 2025. On that day, Anthem gets pulled from EA Play and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which means subscribers will lose access even before the final shutdown. For a lot of people, that's the real beginning of the end. Playing Anthem today is a bittersweet journey. Every mission, every piece of masterwork gear, every flight through a shimmering canyon is shadowed by the fact that its days are numbered. You're playing a memory while it's still being made, exploring a world that will soon be nothing more than old YouTube videos and faded stories. This brings us to right now. We have a unique and very short opportunity. We have the chance to give Anthem a proper send-off. This isn't just about logging into a dead game. It's about a community coming together for one last flight. It's a call to action for every freelancer who ever believed in what Anthem could be. Let's log back in. Let's fill the servers one last time. Let's help new players clear their first strongholds. Let's run the Cataclysm event together. Let's light up the skies of Bastion with our thrusters and our ultimates. Let's celebrate the incredible work of the artists and engineers who built this world and gave us that amazing feeling of flight. The community is already putting together farewell events and final play sessions. This is our chance to be part of it, to create a final good memory of Anthem, to stand against all the stories of failure and disappointment. It's a chance to honor what the game did right and to say goodbye on our own terms. Because on January 12th, 2026, we won't have the choice. The world will just be gone. So what is Anthem's legacy? Well, it's complicated. It will always be a cautionary tale for the game industry, a story about a messy development, bad decisions, and the danger of the live service model. It's a story of what happens when a studio's known for one thing tries to be something else entirely and loses itself along the way. But it's also a story about what digital ownership means and how fragile our art can be in an always online world. When Anthem servers go dark, the game becomes completely unplayable. Your physical copy will be a coaster. Your digital purchase will be a dead icon in your library. This whole situation has helped fuel important conversations and movements like Stop Killing Games, a campaign fighting for preservation of games like this. The death of Anthem has become a rallying cry for the idea that if you buy a game, you should own it forever. But beyond all the debates and lessons learned, something truly beautiful is about to be lost. That feeling of soaring through the world is a unique piece of interactive art that's about to be erased. The stunning environments, the detailed javelin animations, it's all going to vanish. Anthem is a tragedy. It's the story of unfulfilled potential, of a game that flew so close to the sun that its wings melted. But for a brief shining moment, it let us fly. And that is something worth experiencing one last time. Thank you to the developers who dreamed up Bastion and to the community that never really left. If you enjoyed this, think about subscribing for more stories about the games that shape our world. And please keep sharing your memories and goodbyes in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going, and to all you freelancers out there, may you fly safe.